we got some games on Thursday, my brother. Hopefully we got 3 games. Hopefully we're not getting shut out from the biggest game of the day, the Steelers and the Ravens. But I don't think we can avoid like putting one of these 3 games, having one of these 3 games in consideration right now, just because otherwise the opportunities are pretty slim pickings on Sunday. So
Yeah.
Texans visiting the Lions. Lions plus 2.5, getting 65% of the bets, 75% of the money. 2.5 point dogs at home.
Wow.
That's weird.
That's so weird. I can't believe the public's coming in on Houston just after 1 week. That's insane. This Thanksgiving slate is so ugly. If this Baltimore and Pittsburgh game isn't on, like, this is crazy. This is the other 2 games, but this is the classic. If you don't gamble or you don't play fantasy football, this is a tough slate of games. But I love Detroit here. Home dog. You just said they're getting no money, no bets. How can we not take Detroit? Especially after Houston just won against the Patriots. Now they're going on the road against the Lions team that just lost on the road coming home. This is for Patricia's job. I just see a desperate team here in the Lions. So happy if this goes up to 3. We're going to get great value here on the Lions. I'm going to be taking the Lions here as a home dog.
Yeah, you know what? I agree with you. We got to go with the Lions here. This to me is kind of a no-brainer. I hate betting the Lions.
Same. So we're probably not going to – this won't be the one we're going to put in.
Oh, my God, but it's so exactly the right side. It's like –
It is. It's so sharp. It's such a smart number.
No right being underdogs at home on Thanksgiving on a short week against a terrible, terrible defense that, like, does not get credit for winning the game they just won.
This is probably injury-based. Like, we'll have to wait and see what the deal is with Kenny Galladay. And, like, Swift was out last week for them. We saw the Lions, they just couldn't do anything on offense. Yeah. So we can hold off on this one because this is definitely an injury game. You got to keep your eye out what's going on with the Lions.
There was a minute there where I wanted to bet the Lions on the money line. You made me wait, and then I ended up not doing it. And where I also wanted to put the Lions into our contest. And I will say, in the first series, I was glad we hadn't done that.
Yeah, thank God.
The football team is on the road. They are 2-point dogs at the Dallas Cowboys, getting the majority of the money, not the majority of the bets. This is a pros Joe's play, my friends.
Let's go. Football team. Chad was spot on last week. He knew Burrow was going to go down, and we were going to get an easy cover. That was a nice big bet of the week called by you, my friend. That was nice.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And we had Houston, this big bet of the week, that one too. So this week, yeah, +3, playing the Cowboys, who are coming off a big win, big upset win, coming home. I always feel like the Cowboys lose these games. What was it, last year that was a Buffalo that went there and just smacked them around as a huge underdog? Dak Prescott couldn't do anything. This is a great number. +3 would be amazing if you went to 3.5, but I'm happy to take the 3 with Washington here.
It's so interesting to me that people are not giving Washington credit. Their defensive line is great. Their overall defense is very strong. I'm a Ron Rivera fan, and I'm an Alex Smith fan. I just feel like he's just a professional quarterback. I don't know why he's not getting the credit he deserves.
It's because it's just scary betting on him, man. Like, you just watch him move in the pocket, and it's just, you're always just fearful of his movements and the way he looks, because it's just like one wrong step or hit, it feels like he's going to go down. So I think the public is just unsure of them. They've been bad for so many years now, and people just overlook exactly what you're saying. Like, we love their D-line. We talk about it all the time. And they're still being overlooked, where that last week, that game, they pretty much decided that game, that D-line. So once again, this week, like you're saying, the public is going to be coming in on Cowboys. They always do, especially after a win like that. The fans are back on them. I'm happy to take Washington +3.
Yeah. This is going to be our first locked Thursday game of the season.
Wow. Locking it in?
I don't see how we don't. Like, it's such you know what, Simon? We're pros. Like, that's what we do. We're on the pro side here.
Lock it in.
Also, Chase Young, he is just a grown-up. the fact that he ever played against anybody in college almost seems unfair. It's like a college kid playing against Pee Wee kids. Like he is just fierce. I love watching him play. Love it.
And it's always weird to just think like you'll like say some like 20, 21-year-olds and you see him out and they look like little kids and you see him and he looks older than me and I'm like 10 years older than the guy. Yeah. Like what the hell, man? That guy is a freak.
You know what's funny? He looks older than me too, and I'm older than both of you.
Yeah.
But everybody looks older than me because I'm preternaturally young.
It's the cucumber water. It's keeping that skin real young looking.
By the way, people, I don't get a lot of DMs like you, but I did get people DMing me, A, because they felt pity for me, and B, because they like the cucumber water.
Yeah, you can't go wrong. That's like a staple, I feel like, especially at like nice like hotels in Hawaii, especially everywhere you walk, there's like cucumber and orange water everywhere. It's just the high life.
Well, that's how I live. I live my life as if I'm in a spa right here in the middle of Connecticut. The Houston, no, what are we doing? We're talking about the Ravens and the Steelers, the last game on Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, this is a COVID special right now. I'm hoping we get the game. The Steelers are 4-point favorites. We have one. You mentioned cashing a Steelers over ticket already. You and I also have the Steelers at about 4-1 to win the AFC North. This is
Cha-ching.
This is ticket clinching time.
Oh yeah, you already can go catch that too. I think it's up to like minus 5,000 now, and I think that the Vegas is looking at it that the Browns could maybe pull off a crazy run and steal this division, but they pretty much are saying the Ravens are done. And looking at this line, every guy that's going to think they got a good read here is going to take the Ravens. They're going to say these teams play tough. The last time they played the Ravens, should have beat them. If Lamar wasn't turning over at such a crazy pace, they would have beat the Steelers at home. But when I look at this, even before the whole COVID outbreak on the Ravens, I saw a team last week that gave it all, and their all wasn't good enough. It seems like something's wrong there for the Ravens. And Pittsburgh, they've never played better. And not that I have this pro – I had a pro rate at 6, and I think that you're getting good value at -4, -3.5. I'm looking at this game that what do we know about the Ravens? The Ravens play well when they have a lead. And I can't see them really running away on the Steelers. The Steelers just have these offensive weapons that Roethlisberger doesn't have to do much. He just stands back there and gets it to his weapons, and these guys are just making huge plays. So I'm happy to take the -4 with Pittsburgh, and I just can't see the Ravens competing with all the injuries they've had this year.
The Ravens were in such disarray at the end of that game, pointing fingers.
Yeah.
Offensively, it feels like everybody knows what they're doing. The NFL is amazing. The way a guy is able to look like just unstoppable and superhero-esque one year and completely pedestrian the next year. It makes what Patrick Mahomes has done the past few years seem all what Aaron Rodgers has done over a career, what Tom Brady has done over a career. It makes guys like that look so much better when guys like Lamar Jackson have been solved. And I'm not saying like he's not going to be a good quarterback in the NFL. Of course, I think he will be. But they've clearly figured something out defensively to game plan against him. I like the Steelers in this spot. We're not going to choose it just because the game is up in the air and you can't sort of lock in a COVID game.
Right. And like we just talked about, this is something people need to remember for the following season, especially all the people that are giving us so much hate on Twitter about our pick of Pittsburgh winning that division, how the Ravens were just going to steamroll them again. It's so hard to put back-to-back good years together, especially when these guys, the defensive coordinators, have a full offseason to figure out your offense. So we gave it out early in the year, the under on the Ravens, and we talked about how we like the Steelers in this division. It was just simply because we were banking on the same thing we see every year in the NFL. Teams get figured out. That's what, like you just said, you named the great quarterbacks. That's a small list. There's not a lot of great quarterbacks. There's just not enough consistency at the QB position for us to have what you just talked about, where there's going to be year in, year out, these guys put up the numbers because so many of these people are dependent on the system and guys being healthy to have great years. So it was just a bad year with the Ravens. They have too many injuries, and like you said, we're not going to put this in just because everything going on with COVID.